how to make staying in shape year-round easy. I'm going to walk you guys through some simple steps that I incorporate, that I think you can incorporate, that will help you tremendously. And you can leave a comment below if you want me to elaborate on anything, or if you want some more help, right? You guys can always follow me on Instagram, Bryan, Bryan .Casella, Casella. And even though I'm more on the business side on Instagram and YouTube, I can definitely answer any fitness or calisthenics types question that you have for free. I don't sell anything with calisthenics. I'm just here to help, right? Same thing with diet and nutrition, at least from my perspective. The first one is this. When you guys eat, right, you have a meal, you wake up, middle of the day, at night, whatever it is, do not eat while you're watching TV or you're on your phone, doing YouTube, on an iPad, phone, TV, whatever. Eat in company of others without any digital media or watching any entertainment, or eat by yourself and pay attention to your food. You have no idea how much distraction will confuse your body, your hunger signals, and more than likely cause you to overeat. How do I know this? From experience. Because I used to sit there with a full tray of brownies or a family-sized bag of like peanut butter M&Ms that had like 4,000 calories. And I'd be watching TV, and if it's something like that that's not nutritionally dense, you will smack that stuff and eat it and finish it like that. And that has a lot of chemicals and addictive qualities, and you just don't want to get into that issue, okay? Number two that's attached to that is, and I've been guilty of this as well. Many of these I've been guilty of them myself. Number two, make sure when you're going to eat that you cook or you take whatever you're going to have and put it all in your bowl or in your plate. Walk away, put everything away, eat, and then you're done. I can't tell you how much I've overeaten because I'm picking off the tray and I'm just grabbing stuff and munching, and before you know it, you have a plate and a half or 2 plates. And that's what over time causes you to, gain weight or throw in a lot of extra calories and mistrack how much you're actually eating. Because I think a lot of people miscalculate how much they're eating. Very rarely do people, undershoot. They normally overshoot, meaning if they think they're eating 3,000 calories a day, they're actually eating 3,500 or 4,000, right? And that can throw you off. You add that over a week, that's a lot, right? That's an extra, 7,000 calories a week, which is what, 2 pounds if you're overshooting by 1,000 calories every day. So make sure that you're mindful about that. Put everything in the plate. I'm a chronic picker, that kind of stuff, especially when I cook. I'll tend to be cooking stuff. You get on the grill, it's very easy to start picking stuff and eating it and shoving your spoon in something. I'm somebody who has like a voracious appetite. So I've always struggled with that, right? Next, avoid eating out a lot and cook the majority of your food, right? That's one. But attached to that is change your grocery hauls. This might help you. Even though it's a little bit more inconvenient, this might help you fitness-wise and diet-wise. Usually when I buy most of my stuff, it's for the day. I'll go to the market when I leave the gym. It's like a routine of mine. And I'll buy 1 avocado, 1 lemon for my tea or my water. Like I'm buying for the day. I'll buy maybe 1 sliver of salmon, like stuff like that. I'm buying for the day, maybe 2 max. If I get some raw cacao, I'll get half a bar or a bar, and that'll last me for 2 or 3 days because I'll take 2 or 3 little cubes and eat them, right? I'm buying for the day. And I think for many people, like a problem that I had was I would buy for the week and I would finish the food within 3 days because I'm like, oh, I have so much of this and this and this, and I would overeat. Now, a lot of that has to do more with self-control, but I think now that I eat pretty much natural, like 1 ingredient foods, and I'm not a young, 15, 20, 25-year-old eating a bunch of junk like I used to be back in the day. I could control myself now, but back in the day I couldn't control myself. And maybe some of you watching this video are not at a point where you have that full autonomy yet of your appetite and your diet, and you still have the susceptibility to binge or engage in these behaviors that are catastrophic to your health. So if you're not at that point yet, you haven't cleansed your system, make sure that you buy for the day and try it out. Yes, it's inconvenient. I admitted it, but it's something that might help you a lot. I noticed a big difference when I started doing that. It's no different than in the future now when I buy my land and I start growing my own food. I'm going to pick stuff in that moment. If I'm going to cook that evening and I grew some stuff, I'm going to pick a couple and then go back to the kitchen, wash it, and eat it. I'm not going to pick it all and harvest it all and then store it, right? Maybe I'll do that with animals, where maybe we butcher an animal and cut it up and all that, but that's a little bit different. When it comes to most of the little stuff, right? I'm going to buy 1 or 2 cans of tuna, not have fucking 100, you know? So you want to be mindful of that, because it's really, 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 really important, okay? And by the way, I want to give a shout out to everybody. I think this channel recently was monetized. So I appreciate all the support, love, views, likes, comments, and all that stuff. I know a lot of it has to do with my reels doing calisthenics, but I'm definitely going to start incorporating a lot more content like this, right? Another one that I think will help you a lot is making a habit to drink throughout the day, water, whatever it is. I've made it a habit of mine to cut out all liquids except for the most part, tea. Mate is what I drink. It's a tea from South America, Brazil, you know, and Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay. And I have that with, I sprinkle a little bit of lemon in it and water. That's pretty much all I have. I'll have other teas every once in a while, but that's all I drink, right? I cut out all the sugary liquids, no alcohol, none of that stuff. I think that will help you stay lean year round. And if you decide to break any of these rules, or like this one because you drink alcohol or whatever it is, I'm not going to demonize you. Of course, I'm going to always speak to you from the position of don't ever do it. But if you do it, keep it low. If you keep things less than 10% of the time, you should be good. So if we extrapolate that, right? Let's say we look at a month, which is about 30 days. That means every day is about 3% roughly, because that 3 times 30 will be 90, right? So let's say it's like 3.1, meaning 3 days out of the month, you could have alcohol and be okay. Let's call that once a week or once every 10 days. You could have a beer or two. That's fine. I'm not talking about getting sloppy drunk. So if you keep that theme, you'll be okay. Now, long term, I wouldn't recommend that. But if you do have to have it, make it every week and a half, 2 weeks or something like that. And after a while, you'll stop anyway, probably. But make sure that, again, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, you're sharp and you should be okay, right? Another one, I mentioned this in the previous video. After you eat, make it a habit to always move. Go for a walk. I have a walking pad here. Go for a walk outside if you live in a place like I live here in South Florida, where it's nice most of the year, right? And it's sunny and it's warm. And make that a habit. You move 10, 15, 20 minutes, because you're going to get steps in, right? And you'll probably get a couple extra 1,000 steps in a day. It'll help you with digestion and blood flow. You'll get your body moving. It'll rev up your metabolism. It'll make it easier for you to keep weight off. Because I'm noticing as I've started walking a lot more it's been almost a year now that I've been walking, 10, 15, 20,000 steps a day for the most part. It's been very easy for my body to stay a lot leaner, even though I'm doing calisthenics and boxing, but I'm not playing basketball and working out as intensely as I did 10, 15 years ago. I may get back into it here pretty soon, but just excessive walking, but especially the habit of walking after you eat for, 15, 20 minutes, it will go a long way. If you do that every day and you eat 3 meals, that's about an hour of walking. That'll equate to about 6,000 steps, which I know, me being around 200 pounds, that's a lot of calories burned. That's probably 300-400 calories burned. So over a week, that's a lot. That's more than half a pound, right? And that's not including any other walking or movement. So just a couple things I wanted to add here. I think doing some of these things will make it very easy for you to, again, stay in good shape year round. I'm not saying this is going to make you 5% body fat or anything like that, but it's going to keep the weight off you. It's going to keep you looking healthy. It might not have you looking like you're about to be on stage super ripped, but it'll keep you in really, really good shape. And I think for most of you who are relatively healthy and don't have major health issues, you'll probably have abs, right? You might not be 7 or 8% body fat like me, but you'll be in really, really good shape for the most part. And I think these are easy habits that anybody can implement, especially if you start chipping away at them and you do them over time. All right, anything else I can do for you guys, let me know. Leave a comment, leave a thumbs up. We'll see you on the next video.